Hi guys. I wanted to give you an update and let you know that since my doctor put me on sertraline, things have been so much better. A lot better. I no longer feel any form of depression whatsoever. And the things that used to bother me no longer bother me. Never thought that such a little tiny little pill could make such a huge difference in a lot of things in more ways than one. So yeah, things are good. It's a beautiful day. There's almost no breeze. The wind is like non-existent. It is brutal hot today. It's in the upper 90s. And right now we have a heat warning and an air quality warning, which does affect my breathing a little bit because I do have lung issues, but it's manageable, not a big deal. And yes, I still just wear jeans and a t-shirt, no shorts and no air conditioning. Doesn't bother me at all. But I wanted to kind of elaborate on a comment that I got earlier where one of my subscribers who lives down in Florida says that through the years of living down there, he has seen where people have bragged to him about the condominiums that they just purchased or condominiums that they have over the years as people migrated there and bought up property and real estate. And it's so trivial, you guys. You know, like the Bible says, meaningless is the pursuit of the material. And that is so very true. You know, there's lots and lots of people all across the United States of America that would be too embarrassed to live in a mobile home just because of the stereotypical, connection that people have with mobile homes and how people view it. But to me, it's never bothered me. It doesn't bother me at all. And the reason why it doesn't, you guys, is because no matter what type of home that you have here on Earth, this Earth isn't our home. This is just a temporary place. But it does matter to some people what they live in, how they live, what they have. But to me, I think happiness is knowing what you have and being grateful for it and not boasting about it. Just be thankful for what you have. If you don't have something as great as the next person, so what? That doesn't make you who you are. Be happy for other people when they're successful and have what they have, and be happy with what you have. Be content in your life. Out of all the years I did landscaping, you guys, professionally, through the 90s and into the early 2000s, there was many times where I saw that people, whether if they were vacationers that were from out of state or local people, that bought up properties all around our lake that were expensive. I mean, we're talking like $1 million plus. People would buy up large estates that basically they would have to hire everything done. And these people, if they didn't hire it done, they didn't even own the tools to do the work themselves. So they would hire the landscaping, they would hire the lawn care, they would hire, people to do work on their homes, whatever needed to be done. It was just like a constant thing going on with contractors. A plumber would show up, then a vinyl guy would show up. There was just always things going on. And I think the biggest mistake that I saw throughout the years, because we had customers that were really starting to become elderly and get up there in age. And the number one thing that I saw were that these people had properties that they originally purchased, years before, decades before, and then they finally reached their golden years to where they could no longer maintain on their own or afford to maintain the properties they originally purchased. So the one thing I never could understand is when people buy properties, they don't think long term. Like, not saying all people do this, but most people do this. That when they buy a property, it's new and exciting, and maybe you just got married and you're buying a house that's big, has way more square footage than you need, outbuildings that you necessarily wouldn't have to have, just a lot more maintenance, a lot more area to take care of, as well as the grounds. Well, if people thought long term and think about their elderly years and what could possibly be their health condition when they reach that age, if they were to reach that age, I always tell people, if someone asked me for advice as far as what I would do if I were buying a property, regardless of my age, I would be buying that property as if I was a 90-year-old man. I would get something that is manageable, something that's not too big, and something that I could, if I needed to or wanted to, that I could take care of it all on my own. Just like this place. I don't own this place. I rent this place, but there's a lot here to take care of, but I do it all myself. I don't hire anything done. I mow this colossal, gigantic yard with a push mower that's not even self-propelled, in weather like this, and but it's manageable. So as long as I can do it, I hang on to it. And mobile homes are easy to take care of. Everything I can do myself with my landlord's permission, because being I don't own the place, I do have to get permission. But so when I was landscaping, I would see these people that would make these huge investments and buy these properties, only to years down the road have to make the decision ultimately to sell the property. And you never know what the market's going to be once that time comes. If you were to sell, you could make a profit, you could take a loss. You just never know in the housing market. So you set yourself up for that future problem, and then having to relocate and all the things you have to do to go through to move and change your utilities over and whatnot, your mailing address and everything, driver's license, so on and so forth. Why not just buy right out of the gate what you are gonna need when you're old? I don't know why people don't do that. But you guys, regardless of where you live or how you live, be thankful for what you have, because life can end in a moment, as most everyone has seen in this tragedy that happened down in Florida. But I've never taken this place for granted. I know I have it good here. It's very, very cheap to live here. I have free gas for my laundry and cooking and heating the house in the winter. Free water well. I have no water bill, no garbage bill. I only pay 2 bills, and that's electric and internet, and my electric bill every month is $40. And being that Sandy and I split the rent because we're just roommates, she pays half the rent and I pay half the rent, and it only cost us each only $262.50 a month to live here. You can't live anywhere in the United States that cheap unless you're under a bridge. And there's 55 acres of land, lots of woods. I'm surrounded by hiking trails. There's a pond here, a trout stream, and our 16-mile long lake just 1 mile down the road within walking distance. I'm within walking distance to a store. I got a big, beautiful yard and lots of landscaping and flowers. I have 2 gardens. I mean, yeah, so people that brag they live in a condo, they've got no yard, nowhere to grow a garden. I mean, it's not even the same. I just couldn't imagine spending all that money just to end up with a little bit that they end up with. I spend very, very little money, and I have way more than they will ever have as far as access and use of. So to me, I feel like I'm better off. But regardless of how people choose to live, like I said, if there was any advice I could give to anybody watching this video that may be considering buying their first time home as a home buyer and a homeowner, buy something that's reasonable, manageable, and something you can hang on to for life and take care of it yourself without relying on some association to do the work for you like condo people do, to where you have these fees that you got to pay out, and then you're not sure if the work's even being done correctly. Buy a place, own it, do the work yourself. If you don't know how, hire it done, but get different bids, and just know that the work is getting done correctly, and be the overseer of it yourself. And you won't have to worry about problems like so many of these people in condos do. Because, you know, you guys, if you have no debt and everything's paid off, everything that I own is paid off. I don't have no debt. I've never acquired debt in my life. I don't even have any kind of a score because I've never had credit cards and I never will. And I can sleep at night if the pain don't keep me up because I don't have to worry about paying for anything. Everything's been paid for with cash. And I think the way to be truly happy in this world is if you've got no debt, you live very simple, have a garden, enjoy the basics in life, maybe have somebody that loves you. If you've got things like that, your life is golden. What more can you ask for? To just enjoy life, day to day, moment to moment, and be grateful for what you have. Because I know I am. And even if I just go out to get some ice cream, or I want to go to the lake just to watch the sailboats go by, whatever, go hit a couple yard sales. I love having the freedom to just do those simple things and then just enjoy the way I live, because I am not ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed that I live in a house trailer at all. Because I know there's homeless people out there that don't even have that. They have nothing. And I know what that's like. So anything I do have, I'm grateful for. And yes, I have downsized just to get some of the clutter out of my life, just to make it even more simpler, which I believe also creates happiness by not having so many things to worry about. But that would be my advice, that if you truly want to be happy in life, get rid of the debt. Have just a nice little homestead, a nice little place that you can call your own. Have someone that loves you, enjoy it with you. And just have the best life together that you can, because that to me is where true happiness lives. Because this world's only temporary, and someday we go home to our real home. Anyway, I don't know if this video made sense to anybody, but that's my video for today. Thanks for watching, you guys, and we'll see you again. Bye-bye.